Shabbat Shalom, Yasharallah. Welcome to Torah Portion Week 33. Let's get this thing started with the prayer up to Abba. Heavenly Abba, high in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thank you for allowing us to be here in your presence. Give us eyes to see, ears to hear. Allow us to be slow to anger and slow to speak, Abba. Give us the words of the Ruach Kodesh in your appointed times. Allow us to be true disciples and go out into the world and do your righteous deeds and not our own vanity and self-proclaiming. Allow us to be humbled in every way, shape, and form, to be molded like Mashiach, to be one with you in the heavens on this Shabbat. Give us a shalom and protect this line of fellowship. Have the Ruach Kodesh endorse this reading. Bahashim Yeshaya, Amen. Let's share screen. All right, this is our still shot of week 33 Torah portions, 25 through 27. Yes, only 3 chapters this week. This will be a shorter Torah portion, just the way things unfolded. And this imagery will be very visualized in the reading today. So let's begin. Reading verses 1 through 5, slight pause, and we'll keep it going.
Numbers 25. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And
all right, that was 1 through 5. Just want to give a recap. Remember, this is directly after Balaam. Had a really big study on Balaam. If you don't remember or you haven't watched it, you gotta watch. Obviously, last week before this week, it sets up what exactly is happening in the beginning of Numbers 25. So how did the children of Israel fall under the whoredom with the daughters of Moab? Well, let's get into it now. Let's go into the Targum first, get some more insight on just that. We're going to be reading just verses 1 and 4. Verse 125 in chapter 25. And Israel dwelt in the place which is called Shittim on account of the foolish and depravity which were among them. And the people began to profane their holiness and to strip their bodies to the image of Peor and commit fornication with the daughters of the Moabites. And we're going to see that the Midianites' daughters is within, right next to and within the land of the Moabites as well. They're intermingled. Who brought out the image of Peor, concealed under their bundles. So Peor obviously is a pagan god. And now in verse 4, and the Adon said to Moshe, take all the chiefs of the people and appoint them for judges, and let them give judgment to put to death the people who have gone astray after Peor, and hang them before the word of the Adon upon the wood over against the morning sun. And at the departure of the sun, take them down and bury them, and turn away the strong anger of the Adon from Yasharallah. All right, so let's now go into the precepts. There's actually a lot to unfold in these first 5 verses. So we got verse 1. The daughters of Moab we see, and then it says, let me see. Yeah, let's just go to the precept. So the daughters of Moab, we see the whoredom, women being used, no offense, women, it's just how things has folded out in history. Women are used a lot of times as a weapon against man. I mean, it started in the garden with Eve. Eve was, remember, mankind did not fall into a curse until Adam sinned. The devil didn't go to Adam. The devil went to Eve. And even though she was beguiled and didn't know, she was still used to make man fall. And this is in multiple aspects. We're reading right now, obviously, in the book of Numbers 25. And we also was the fall of King Solomon, which is what I'm building up to right here in 1 Kings, chapter 11. The same exact story, except with just one individual of women coming and bringing their gods upon the people. But King Solomon loved many strange, and this is the most important part of this right here, y'all. Strange women. That means women that is bringing and worshiping other deities, has witch-like practices. Together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, daughters of Moab, Ammonites, and we got to understand Moabites and the Ammonites are almost the same people. It's the same father. These are the two daughters of Lot, and the daughters of Lot both had a child from Lot, and one was called Moab, one was called Ammon. So these are very closely related. Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which Hayah said unto the children of Yasharali, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. You see that? This is why Hasatan uses love over and over again. Love. He uses that as a weapon. It's always been a weapon. We should not lean on our emotions. And he had 700 wives. Okay, so this is just Solomon getting carried away with himself, right? And 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Hayah his Elohim, as was the heart of David his father. So sadly, this is something that has been repeated throughout history, and it is what it is. Stay vigilant. Read scripture and understand there's multiple ways to get to you. And just clarifying here, and onto ye shall not go into them. Who is them? This is when Abraham was telling Eleazar what the Most High told him about getting a son for Isaac. Swear by the Most High, the Elohim of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. And also got to understand too, in talking about really the whole land of Canaan, because Edom is all in the same area in this whole land of Canaan. So it's really more than just like it says here, like the daughters of the Canaanites. It's all these women in the land of Canaan, which is why Eleazar was sent out of the land of Canaan to find a woman for Isaac to marry. So yeah, a lot of these is what initially they were saying to stay away from, due to the fact of what happened to Solomon, and due to the fact that what happened right here in Numbers 25. But that being said, though, I want to clarify something. The main focus, was the timing does matter, because this was given to originally to Abraham, right? And then as time passed, you have you have things going on with Solomon, but we have outliers. that matter in a sense of understanding of what's the whole objective of them staying away from the women. The Most High isn't saying, I don't like them, stay away from them in general. Well, maybe some of them, like what Edom and those in the land of Canaan at that time for sure. But the main purpose was the fact of that they were strange women, that they were not women of the Most High. And so we see Ruth. Ruth is a Moabite. Moreover, Ruth, the Moabitess. And then this is just a summary of Ruth being married and grafted into Yasharallah. Have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. Haya, make the woman that is come unto thine house like Rachel and Leah. You see this, like a Moabite woman is being blessed, right? Which two did build the house of Yasharallah, and do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Perez, whom Terah bar unto Judah, of the seed which Haya shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, Haya gave her conception, and she bare a son. And then we go to verse 21 to look at how big of a blessing Ruth was given through Boaz. Solomon begat Boaz, and Boaz begat Obed, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. What is that? Great-grandmother? Ruth is David's great-great-grandmother, I think. So, and that was a Moabitess. So I just wanted to clarify as we're reading that we see that the main objective of staying away from women is because they're strange. And I say this, and I want to give it clear understanding, because there is hate groups out here that are saying, hey, you shouldn't be with so-and-so because of his skin color, or because of whatever people you think he is involved with in the Bible. The entire point of the Most High telling you to stay away from these women in these times was because they were not of the Most High. They were going to drive your hearts away from him. And if it's between a woman and the Most High, y'all know the answer, right? So just want to make that crystal clear. It's not about technically who you came from. It's about who you're for, the Most High or Hasatan. Right. Still in the first 5 verses here. Let me see. Verse 3. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of Haya was kindled against Yasharallah. Numbers 23. We're just a little review. This is just last Torah portion. And Balak said unto Balaam, come, I pray thee, I will bring thee unto another place, peradventure it will please Elohim, that thou mayest curse me them from thence. And Balak brought Balaam on to the top of Peor. Just giving you that connection there. That the last altars, the hilltop, was for this god, Baal Peor. So it's no coincidence that that is the god that is brought to Israel's footstep to be worshipped, because that is one of the gods of the land of Moab at the time. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. So directly related. Continuing, Numbers 31:16, a little foreshadowing in the end of Numbers. Behold, these caused the children of Yasharallah through the counsel of Balaam. Remember, we talked about it, that well, the Targums give us the extra explanatory of Balaam giving the instructions, but it wasn't straight up in the canon. Well, Numbers 31 says it, and Revelation 2:14 says that Balaam did give them counsel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against Hiah in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of Hiah. For whatever reason, it was maybe removed from the canon or whatnot, but it in the last Torah portion, where it's the whole story of Balak and Balaam, Balaam doesn't give him the actual counsel that is talked about in Numbers 31 and Revelation 2:14. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Yasharallah, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. So, I mean, two clear witnesses here, Numbers 31 and Revelation 2:14, that Balaam did in fact give this counsel to Balak. And then also you can use the Targums as even a third witness in that as well. And then in Joshua, is the iniquity of Peor too little for us, for which we are not cleansed until the day, although there was a plague in the congregation of Hiah? That obviously the repetition of this sin was enough to be brought up again and again and again, all the way to King Solomon. And then in verse 4 now, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before Hiah against the sun. And we read that also in the Targum translation. So we're gonna, we read that, it expound on, let me see. Okay, never mind. I was thinking something else. So we're just talking about the hanging. So I just wanted to go over a little bit on the hanging. We know cursed is a man that hangs on a tree, right? It's the point of a man being hanged on a tree is to put up his iniquity, to strike fear into the congregation, and which is why Messiah was hung on a tree, which is why he had to be on a tree of some sorts, because that's Bible prophecy. Is exactly this in Deuteronomy 21. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of Elohim, that thy land be not defiled, which Hiah thy Elohim giveth thee for an inheritance. There's another thing I wanted to put in perspective when we think about the hanging of the modern day hanging / lynching of modern day slavery that happened in America. Wanted to, because there's so many things that the slave owners used in the Bible, but they totally made it evil and butchered it. They were making their own laws and you know, having their own crooked judges. They would use the Bible for their to deceive and to indoctrinate, but then they would do whatever they want, right? This is what many have done. But I wanted to make some points that were different. When we read about a man that is committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, you see that there? He be to be put to death, thou hang him on a tree. The people that were hung on a tree were not still alive, is my point. They were stoned or whichever the penalty of death they may have, but to my understanding, it wasn't you hung a person on a tree. Definitely didn't hang them on a tree and put them on fire on the tree. Like they just kind of, that's just totally not biblical. The hanging on a tree was an already dead man that was put on a tree that was a symbol of the iniquity. The same thing as the serpent and staff that we read earlier in Numbers 21. They were to look upon it and to look at that iniquity and to be struck with fear. And then before the end of the night, just like in our Messiah's Passover story, he was taken down off the tree and he was buried in a tomb by nightfall. All right. Let's continue now. So we have the children of Israel fallen into whoredom with the women and Peor, their god Peor. Let's continue.
The anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people, and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of...
All right. Oops. I think I'm going to let, it's a short chapter. I'm going to let it finish. That's what I'm going to do.
Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head over a people, and of a chief house in Midian. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, vex the Midianites, and smite them, for they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake.
All right. Let's go back. Okay, we stopped at 6. Let's go into Targum. Targum give interesting point of view that we're going to read for verse 6. That we have one of the children of Israel brought one of the Midianitish women that were a part of the daughters of Moab. They were all a part of one land at this time. In the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation. So there was something that has been said, and the Targums takes a gander at it. Verse 6. And behold, a man of the sons of Israel came holding a Midianitish, and brought her to his brethren in the sight of Moshe and all the congregation of the children of Israel. He answered and said to Moshe, what is it that is wrong to have company with her. If thou sayest it is forbidden, didst thou not thyself take a Midianitess, the daughter of Jethro? And when Moshe heard, he trembled and swooned. He was emotionally affected, supposedly, by this. But they wept and cried, listen, and they stood at the door of the tabernacle, the children of Israel. And so, yeah. What was, I think this is an interesting take, because what was the purpose of the man bringing one of the women, obviously the many women that were there, what was the purpose of him bringing the women to the leaders of Israel? Something had to be said. There was something that happened, and that provoked it Phinehas, right? Which immediately acted on it. And let's go to 13 now. Verse 13, I want to read there. So we have one, let me see. We have one specific Israelite Levite that stands up and puts an end to this at the tabernacle with the other leaders. And this is Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, which is the son of Aaron the priest. And he thrushes his spear into both of them. And that's what's going on here. Like literally it says that one spear went through both of them. And then there's more to be said now. Let's go to the Targum in verse 13. And so we see that he was blessed, right? Well, let's read the Targum. And because they defamed him, saying, is he not the son of Hutai, the Midianite? Behold, I will make him to possess the high priesthood. And because he took the lance with his arm and struck the Midianitess in her body and prayed with his mouth for the people of the house of Yasharallah, the priest shall be held worthy of the three gifts of the shoulder, the cheekbone, etc., etc. So this is interesting. Because I looked into this, I see some stuff. The Targums is just like any other book. It's not perfect, but sometimes it has some gems in there that connect some major dots that is backed by the book of Jasher and back throughout the canon. And so I looked into this, and let's look up the Hutai Midianite, and this is talking to Phinehas, right? So I looked it up and I was like, let's see what this is talking about here. Let me see. It led me to Exodus 6:25. And Eleazar, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Hutiel to wife, and she bare him Phinehas. And these are the heads of the fathers of Levites. And that really is all it goes. I couldn't find this man's name anywhere else, but he sure isn't in the lineage of the Israelites. So just throwing this out here, that it does sound like that this wife would be from another people, or what would be the point of this? This is a daughter of somebody else, because Hutiel is not an Israelite anywhere. And if he was, what would be the point of bringing him up? Because everybody else is pretty straightforward in their lineage. But so I feel like there is something there, but just not factual, but I do feel like there is something there, because I can't confirm this being a Midianite anywhere. I couldn't find his name anywhere, but his name could be spelled some different in a different book. The Bible can't do that, or the scriptures can't do that time to time. And so now with that, that puts a different perspective on the fact of when Messiah says, when he's pretty much complimenting Phinehas, that while he was zealous for my sake among them, I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. And you see, regardless of whose son he is, of a woman, not the father, he is a Levite through the seed of Aaron, but through the woman, it is the Most High is giving him his credit where credit's due. He's giving him the covenant of peace for his actions. And he shall have it in his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for Elohim. So that just makes it a little bit more intriguing if he is the son of a Midianitess woman, that the Most High made it clear that he was honoring him because he had the right heart. It seems really similar to Caleb, from the tribe of Judah, that was a part of the 12 spies, right? All right, and in verses 14 and 15, now the name of the Israelite that was slain. So we have the Israelite that was with the Midianitish woman that was brought in front of the congregation or the leadership. Zimri, a part of the Semonites. And then we have the Midianitish woman slain by Cozbi, the daughter of Zur, and which was a part of the lead chief house of Midian. And all of this is leading up to what will be a war between the land of Moab and the Israelites. And it won't be in this Torah portion. I think it'll be actually, it's in the next Torah portion, where all of this is leading to war, as we see brewing up at the end of chapter 25. But we're also going to look into the book of Jasher for this same time frame, for verses 14 and 15 of the man and the woman. All right, chapter 85, verse 62 and 63. The last two verses of the chapter. Now there was a man of the children of Simeon whose name was Zimri, the son of Saul, who connected himself with the Midianite Cozbi, the daughter of Zur, king of Midian, in the sight of all the children of Yasharallah. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw this wicked thing which Zimri had done. And he took a spear and rose up and went after them, and pierced them both and slew them. And the pestilence ceased from the children of Yasharallah. So once again, regardless of, want to take what the Targum said about the purpose of what was said from the Israelite man with the Midianite woman, it still shows that Moses had a Midianitish woman, but she was righteous. And that's the main thing of why we were going over the first part thoroughly, in terms of the difference between these women, such as Ruth being a Moabite, that she is not strange. And that's the difference of why Moshe had a Midianitish woman, but he was continually blessed through her, and why Ruth can be a Moabitess woman, and she is a part of the lineage of Messiah, because everything is about if she is a strange woman, which is what they were being judged in the entirety of this chapter. That's why it makes it so crystal clear that Israel was joined himself to Baal Peor, because it isn't necessarily targeting the women of them being who they are. It's targeting that they're strange women. You just got to understand that about the chapter, because if you don't, won't fully understand why at one point a Moab woman was allowed to be in a righteous line, and so on. And you can fall for horrible doctrine from people trying to tell someone that is righteous with their righteous spouse that they can't be together, even though they're both righteous, serving the Most High Elohim. And this is spoken about in the New Testament. The most famous line is being equally yoked. Same thing. I mean, obviously, we wake up to the truth and we know that we can be with someone, be married to someone, and your spouse is just not about it. That's different. But now that you're awake, you should make wise decisions and be with someone that you could be equally yoked with, that is on the same page spiritually with you, is the moral of the story in Numbers 25. All right. This chapter is very long, but you'll see it isn't much commentary to be made. I'll make some stoppage here and there, but this is just a pay attention and listen chapter.
Numbers 26. And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and upward, throughout their father's house, all that are able to go to war in Israel. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spake with them in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, the children of Reuben, Hanok, of whom cometh the family of the Hanokites, of Palu, the family of the Paluites, of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites, and they that were numbered of them were 40,003,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab, and the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is that Dathan and Abiram which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord. And the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died, what time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Notwithstanding, the children of Korah died not.
Okay. It says notwithstanding the children of Korah died not. Why? Why? Let's expound on that in the Targums. Verse 11. But the sons of Korah was not in the counsel of their father, but followed in the doctrine of Moshe the prophet, and therefore they died not by the plague, nor were smitten by the fire, nor engulfed in the yawning of the earth. Right then and there, they were like, we're not having the curse of our father upon us. We are in control of our own destiny. We make our decisions. We can say yes, we can say no. We can follow, we can choose not to follow. And this is what this is talking about when it in Deuteronomy, when it speaks on anyone not dying for the sins of their father. The sons of Korah shouldn't be penalized for Korah acting out when the sons acted righteously. And you see many times in not just the Torah, but the Tanakh, the Old Testament, that there are seeds that are wiped out of history, completely wiped out, like kill him and all his sons because his seed is wicked. We see here with Korah, that wasn't the case because his seed was not wicked. It was just Korah that turned his back on the Most High. And just in a nutshell, we're doing a census. Well, the in this chapter, the Most High commanded Moshe to do a census for the purpose that we're preparing to give inheritance of each tribe. And we'll see that the amount of people in each tribe matters to how much you get in your inheritance. So that's what's going on in this chapter as well, which hence why it's a bunch of reading on the census and the numbering of Yasharallah. All right, verse 12.
The sons of Simeon after their families of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites, of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the family of the Jachinites, of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites, of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. The children of Gad after their families, of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites, of Haggai, the family of the Haggites, of Shunai, the family of the Shunites, of Ozni, the family of the Oznites, of Eri, the family of the Erites, of Arad, the family of the Aradites, of Arali, the family of the Aralites. These are the families of the children of Gad according to those that were numbered of them, 40,500. Sons of Judah were Er and Onan, and Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah after their families were of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites, of Pharez, the family of the Pharzites, of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites. And the sons of Pharez were of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. These are the families of Judah according to those that were numbered of them, 16,500. Of the sons of Issachar after their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolaites, of Pua, the family of the Punites, of Jeshub, the family of the Jeshubites, of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites. These are the families of Issachar according to those that were numbered of them, 64,300. Of the sons of Zebulun after their families, of Sered, the family of the Sardites, of Elon, the family of the Elonites, of Jaleel, the family of the Jaleelites. These are the families of the Zebulunites, according to those that were numbered of them, 64,500. Sons of Joseph, after their families, were Manasseh and Ephraim. Of the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites, and Machir begat Gilead. Of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead. Of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Helek, the family of the Helekites, and of Azriel, the family of the Azrielites, and of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites, and of Shemida, the family of the Shemidites, and of Hepher, the family of the Hepherites. And Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, had no sons, but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Malah and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those that were numbered of them, 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim after their families. Of Shuthalah, the family of the Shuthalites, of Becher, the family of the Bachrites, of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shuthalah, of Iran, the family of the Iranites. These are the families of the sons of Ephraim according to those that were numbered of them, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph after their families. The sons of Benjamin after their families, of Bela, the family of the Belites, of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites, of Ahiram, the family of the Ahiramites, of Shaphan, the family of the Shuphamites, of Hupham, the family of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman, of Ard, the family of the Ardites, and of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin after their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan after their families, of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan after their families. All the families of the Shuhamites, according to those that were numbered of them, were 64,400. Of the children of Asher after their families, of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites, of Jesui, the family of the Jesuites, of Beriah, the family of the Berites. Of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites, of Malkiel, the family of the Malkielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the families of the sons of Asher, according to those that were numbered of them, who were 53,400. Of the sons of Naphtali after their families, of Jaziel, the family of the Jazielites, of Gunai, the family of the Gunites, of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Shalem, the family of the Shalemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,400. These were the numbered of the children of Israel, 600,000 and 1,730. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to few thou shalt give the less inheritance. To every one shall his inheritance be given according to those that were numbered of him. Notwithstanding the land shall be divided by lot, according to the names of the tribes of their fathers they shall inherit. According to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few. And these are they that were numbered of the Levites after their families. Of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites.
All right, I want to stop here. All right, so like just recapping, all right, making sure we're all tracking. I know, right? It's funny because you say that, Stephanie, that about the number. I forgot to do that. I was going to, because we're actually going to go and look at the last time. The last time they did the census was in Numbers chapter 1. And I was going to go and compare the numbers, but I forgot to do that. So I don't have that, but right, there's a significant difference in the numbers. And then we see, as I just said, that the whole point of this census was to give an inheritance. And the inheritance was unto the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of the names. So it matters how many people are in your tribe. That dictates on how much land each tribe is given as a everlasting possession. To many thou shalt give to more, and to the few thou shalt give the less inheritance. And that inheritance was the count census for the inheritance was after all the Israelites has died off, which is what we're looking at here. This is why he's given a separate census from the first census. It's because this census is actually the census that would be, so if you had more righteous individuals and more in a tribe, they inherited more, in other words. He's not going by the census of those that didn't inherit the land. He's going by the census of those that will inherit the land. All right. And we're about to review that in a second about the difference of we've talked about it many times of the Israelites' inheritance is different from the rest of the tribes' inheritance. And this is why there's a separation here. We've seen every tribe, Asher, Benjamin, Judah, all these tribes census and the numbers gave here. And then there's a separation talking about land. And then we're getting into the census of the Levites. And there's a purpose for that because the Levites partake not into the inheritance of the land. That being said, let's finish this chapter.
The family of the Kohathites, of Merari, the family of the Merarites. These are the families of the Levites, the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Malites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites, and Kohath begat Amram. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bare to Levi in Egypt. And she bare unto Amram Aaron and Moses, and Miriam their sister. And unto Aaron was born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died when they offered strange fire before the Lord. And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males, from a month old and upward. But they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given them among the children of Israel. These are they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. But among these there was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered, when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them, they shall surely die in the wilderness. And there was not left a man of them, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun.
Woo! Okay. I mean, do we understand? Let me put this in perspective right here. The last verse, 65. Do we understand that everyone, we saw Moshe, this is all talking about sin after they've been given the correction. So after the correction upon leaving Egypt, saying don't worship gods, the Sabbath, and then the tenfold instructions from Mount Sinai, everyone that has sinned once you have received instruction dies. This is foreshadowing the Millennium Kingdom, y'all. If you don't know, the Millennium Kingdom, we will be given tenfold instructions, and he will not take any more buffoonery of sin, or you will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. This would mean that Caleb and Joshua were perfect. So many people go, oh, it's so hard to be perfect. They were given straightforward instructions. And the only ones that was a part of the first census, this is what it says here, but among these were not a man except Caleb and Joshua that was a part of the first census of, be it 20 years and upward. Two people made it. But those two people show that you can do it. Caleb and Joshua were perfect throughout the 40 years in the wilderness. It was the only way they got there. Moshe made one mistake, and he didn't get there. Just saying, just pointing out facts. This is what happened. All right, so let's go into verse 62 here. And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males from a month old and upward, for they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance them among the children. And these that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priests, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab. So this is a totally different count. These are those that was not a part of the first census, that are numbered now 40 years later. And let's look, I got a precept in Deuteronomy for verse 62. What is it, 18? The priests, the Levites, and all the tribes shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Most High made by fire in his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. Hayah is their inheritance, as he has said unto them. So, I mean, we've said this a number of Torah portions. Very pivotal part of the Torah is the inheritance and the position of the tribes with the tribe of Levi. This is the Levites' inheritance, is the priesthood with the offerings, the food, and the tithes. That is their inheritance, and the rest of the tribes get the land. And then now in verse 64, but among those that were not a man of them who Moses and Aaron the priests numbered when they numbered the children of Israel. So I'm just showing you when that was. That was in the very first chapter of Numbers, is when Moses and Aaron gave a census through the commandment of the Most High to number Israel. Let me see. Yep. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls, from 20 years old and upward. So just confirming that nobody that was a part that was 20 years and upward remained. If there were people that remained at that time, it's because they were younger than 20 years, or their name is Joshua or Caleb. If you were older than 20 years old during Numbers 1, you have died off, or your name is Caleb or Joshua, or you're Moses, which is about to die. All right, so that's just this is like, I wanted to point it out about who was remaining, because this is a sign for us. This is foreshadowing what's to come. When the Most High gives us tenfold instructions, he's not dealing with it no more. He's not dealing with you. If that don't strike fear into fearing our Creator and to keep his commandments, I don't know what. Because when he is telling Moses the laws face to face, and Moses is telling him what to do and telling him what's wrong and what's right, and you go, nah, I'm not about that life. then the Most High is not about you. Just want to make that as clear as we can make it. And last but not least, we have Jasher, chapter 86, verses 1 through 5, in the same timeline here. And after that time, after the pestilence, the Adon said to Moses and Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saying, number the heads of the whole community of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and upward, all that went forth in the army. And Moses and Eleazar numbered the children of Israel after their families. And the number of all Israel was 700,730. And the number of the children of Levi from 1 month old and upward was 23,000. And among these, there was not a man of those numbered by Moses and Aaron in the wilderness of Sinai, except two, for the Adon had told them that they would not die in the wilderness, that they would die in the wilderness. So they all died, and not one had been left of them excepting Caleb and Joshua. And that is chapter 26 of Numbers. All right, short Torah portion. This is the last chapter, and it's pretty short. We're going to read verses 1 through 11.
Numbers 27. Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph.
And I forgot to point it out. I'm going to add this in here real quick. Wanted to point out before I switch chapter 26, verse 33, because that's what this next chapter is all about. So we have oh my goodness, this name, Fahad, had no sons. I forgot to touch on this last chapter. So this is just chapter 26, what we just read, but verse 33, pointing out that he had no sons, but daughters. That's it. So I wanted to point it out because that's exactly what chapter 27 is about. And we're going to see later on, it's what I think chapter 31 of Numbers is all about as well. The inheritance, if no man has a son to carry on his inheritance. All right, that being said, the inheritance of daughters. Let's go.
And these are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses, and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes and all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin, and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he hath no son? Give unto us therefore possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die, and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Lord commanded Moses.
All right, so Most High is given instructions if no man has a son. It makes it, I mean, very clear cut. If he doesn't have a son, you give it to his daughter. If he doesn't have a daughter, and etc., etc. Just follow the order if someone doesn't have any sons for his inheritance. That being said, let me see. Got verse 5 in the Targums. Let's go there. Why should the name of our father be taken away from among his family because he had no male child? If we are not reckoned as a son, and our mother claimed or observed the, I'm not sure what that is. Our mother will take the portion of our father and our father's brother. But if we have been reckoned as a son, give us an inheritance among our father's brother. You know, oh, that's why. I was like, I don't know why I read that. It's because it's not verse 5. Ha! This is verse 5. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, why did I read that? All right, excuse me. Verse 5, the real verse 5. This is one of the 4 cases of judgment brought before Moshe the prophet, which he resolved in the manner above said. Of them, some were judgments, and Moshe brought their cause before the Adon. So do y'all remember? Do y'all remember? I asked, I said, can anybody think of what was the 4th judgment that was brought to Moshe that he had no answer for? So he had to take it to the Most High, because the Most High is telling him face to face. Moshe asks a question, the Most High gives him an answer. He doesn't give him a vision. He doesn't tell it to him in parables. He tells him exactly what he needs to know, because why? How can the Most High give true discipline if he's not going to give a straightforward answer? That's what's going on in the wilderness. Why was the people of Israel in the wilderness able to be judged so harshly? You sinned, you're going to die. You're not going to the wilderness. Why? What's the difference between them and us? The only difference is the fact that we have to learn through the Ruach Kodesh, and we have to come to our understanding day by day to get the 10-fold instructions that they were just given verbatim at Mount Sinai. They knew exactly what was wrong and what was right. We don't. That's the grace that we have. But if we do something we know is wrong, you see how harsh their judgment was and are? Well, that's the same thing for us. If I'm purposely breaking the Shabbat, if I'm purposely doing things that I know I shouldn't be doing that is against the Torah, your judgment will be harsh, and there is no grace in after coming to understanding. There is no more sacrifice. That's the whole idea of grace. And so, all that being said, there are 4 judgments, 4 cases, and now we're going to review all of them now that we know all 4. So the 4 judgments, we have this one, which is the daughters of an Israelite man that had no sons, was 1. The second, oh, right here we go. The second, or in any order really, is Numbers 9, 7 through 8. And those men said unto him, we are defiled by dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back? So this is about the time of the judgment when people were asking, if I am defiled and unclean for Passover. And Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Most High will command. So that's 2, where the Most High, Moses didn't know, and he had to go for the judgment to the Most High. 3 was Numbers 15. And they found him gathering sticks, and they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation, and they put him in the ward because it was not declared what should be done to him. So the picking up sticks, this was the first judgment of someone breaking the Sabbath, and Moshe went to the Most High because he didn't know what to do with them, as said in verse 34. And the last one, Leviticus 24. And the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of the Most High and cursed. And they brought him unto Moses and they put him in the war that the mind of the Most High might be showed them. So those are the 4 cases. Just interesting fact right there. There were 4 situations in the wilderness where after they were given the instructions at Mount Sinai that Moshe was approached with a question, and he did not have any idea, and he went to the Most High. The Most High told him to give us the instructions as nowadays too. So just throwing that out there now that we know them, because for those that remember me asking, there you go. All right, let's get back on it now. So we're still on well, we just finished with the women and their inheritance, which we're going to see the inheritance of the daughters once again mentioned for another angle in the end of Deuteronomy. But when we get there, you'll know what's up. All right, so continuing 12 through 23.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Get thee up into this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. For ye rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, in the strife of the congregation, to sanctify me at the water before their eyes, that is, the water of Meribah and Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. And Moses spake unto the Lord, saying, Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep which have no shepherd. And the Lord said unto Moses, Take thee Joshua the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay thine hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before the Lord. At his word shall they go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation. And Moses did as the Lord commanded him. And he took Joshua, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation. And he laid his hands upon him, and gave him a charge, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses.
All right, so right after that census, Moses was the last remaining man that was going to die in the wilderness before they entered in the promised land. And we see that the reins of the leadership shepherd is given to Joshua, which will finish off this Torah portion reading in Jasher 87, 1 through 8. And that, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. And at that time, the Adon said to Moses, Behold, the days are approaching to an end. Take now Joshua, the son of Nun, that thy servant, and place him in the tabernacle, and I will command him. And Moses did so. And the Adon appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of a cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. And the Adon commanded Joshua, the son of Nun, and said unto him, Be strong and courageous, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel to the land which I swore to give them, and I will be with thee. And Moses said to Joshua, Be strong and courageous, for thou wilt make the children of Israel inherit the land, and the Adon will be with thee. He will not leave thee nor forsake thee. Be not afraid nor disheartened. And Moses called to all the children of Israel and said to them, You have seen all the good which the Adon your Elohim has done for you in the wilderness. Now, therefore, observe all the words of this Torah and walk in the way of the Adon, your Elohim. Turn not from the way which the Adon has commanded you, either to the right or to the left. And Moses taught the children of Yasharallah statutes and judgments and laws to do in the land as the Adon had commanded him. And he taught them the way of Hayah and his Torah. Behold, they are written upon the book of the law of Elohim, which he gave to the children of Yasharallah by the hand of Moses. And we'll stop right there. This is the conclusion of Torah portion week 33. We have 2 more Torah portions left in the book of Numbers. Hope to see y'all there. Once again, Shabbat Shalom.